state of the team after the trade deadline as you kind of go into the final weeks of the season? Where do you kind of, see it from the guys?
We continue to compete. I mean, we've had the last rough week. I mean, if you just for the sake of this conversation, let's not talk about the last week. There's been a lot of improvements there. Part of a long season, you're going to have times when every team, I don't care how good you are, you're going to struggle. We just went through that. I think, if you could have an eraser, you erase the beginning of the season, you erase the last week. I'm happy with the effort that the guys have shown. They've been competing day in and day out, and that's what you want to see. But, look, we still got a long way to go.
Derek, you've got a chance to see some of the sites, the minor league sites recently on the tour there.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about what you think of the prospects. You were able to move some of them up recently.
We did. See, we made all the right decisions. Our first 4 picks have all been promoted. Yeah, I mean, part of that, look, is we want guys to get acclimated to where they're going to go next season as well. But our guys they've played well over how many weeks has it been since the draft? I don't know, I lose track. It's one long day. But our guys, they've shown some ability to make some adjustments, and they've earned the promotions. So we're happy with what they've been able to do. But we have some guys in the minor leagues that we're excited about, and obviously they need to continue to develop. But some guys have some bright futures.
How would you describe the state of the minor league system overall at this point? We know what it was like when you came in.
Much better. It's much better. We've there's a lot of things that we've added to the minor league system. We've invested in our analytics department, which is huge. And look, I'm from a player standpoint, I played pretty much before the analytics era, so I'm learning about analytics as well. But that's something that we've really increased. We don't necessarily want to use analytics the most. We want to use it the best, but we've added to the analytics department. We're happy with that. Player development, our educational program. There's a lot of things that we've been added to add value to the baseball side of this business.
You do okay on the analytics. We ran your number. You do okay on the analytics.
Please, I don't want to hear. I'm not playing anymore. I don't want to hear anything about my career anymore.
Derek, as a player, you went through the trade deadline for many years. What was it like as the owner, and how involved were you?
Involved in everything.
On that day, that specific day, and
every day.
That day specifically, can we talk about?
As a player, there's so many rumors. When I was coming up, I was in a few trade rumors as well, so you don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of tough if you pay attention to it. I can only imagine now because there's so much media attention. A lot of the rumors that we heard about were interesting ones. Players that we were going to move, teams we were supposed to be talking to. Every move that we make with this organization is always to make us better. We're not in a position of just giving players away. So we're happy with what we've added during the trade deadline, but we're also happy with what we were able to keep here.
Was there ever a point on that day where a trade got to the point where it came to you and you?
Every trade comes to me.
Was there a trade?
That day, we traded 2 people, so those came to me.
Was there a trade that you said no on? Was there a trade that you vetoed?
I'm not anything specific. People will call and inquire about different players, and you'll say, no, I don't want to get into what those specific players are. But yeah, of course, people will call and say, no, there's no interest.
Talk about the plan, because you guys have shown a lot of discipline to stay with what you said you were going to do. And even Michael kind of insinuated guys who more the rentals, so to speak, and they ended up being the guys who were moved. So you kind of were there, and you were a little tougher to move your controllable guys, which you didn't do any in there. So, just that process with the guys who are here that might still project where you want to go, and talk about that process.
Well, I mean, for us, we're always looking to the future. Right? We've had 2 guys we moved had expiring contracts. Obviously, we want to get something in return for them. But we're always, every decision we make is for the long term. So it's not like we're just, like I said, just giving guys away just for the sake of moving them. We have guys that we feel as though are going to be a part of this organization long term, so we keep them guys.
Is JT Realmuto one of those guys?
Would love to. I mean, I've told you guys before, JT, in my opinion, he's right at the top of the list as being one of the best all-around catchers in baseball. So, of course, it's something I don't ever like to talk about specific players in terms of futures, but he's a guy we'd love to have in the long term.
Obviously, you could talk about his season, and just, I mean, you probably knew of him and to a degree what he's capable of, but obviously an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone deserves it as much as he does. You talk about sometimes the players down in Miami finding out don't get noticed as much as some of the players in other organizations. We'll talk about Brian Anderson in a second. That's why I bring that up. But JT, the way he's been able to improve year in and year out, especially this year, I mean, he's really taken some strides offensively, but even more so defensively. I think a lot of times people forget about his defense, but he's someone that consistently and continues to improve.
What about Anderson? He obviously is
He should be at the top of the list. He should be at the top of the list when anyone talks about recruiting. I mean, it's the bottom line. What he's been able to do since day one here with this organization, the consistency that he's shown, and don't fail to realize he's a third baseman playing in right field. So that's not easy to do.